This is London Tonight with Nina Hussain.
Good evening. Once again, Londoners are facing a day of bus strikes. Once again, the union calling for the action is offering to talk to stop the walkout. Unite's members will strike over Olympic bonuses next Thursday and 3 days before the 2012 Games begin. But the union says it will be at ACAS on Monday morning to try to resolve the dispute. So will London's 20 bus companies join them? And will the mayor do any more than reiterate his offer of £8 million to placate the drivers? I'll be speaking to Unite in just a moment. First, Glenn Goodman on the story of the bus strikes so far.
London's transport chiefs have an Olympic golden rule. If it moves, give its driver a bonus. Everybody from airport staff to tube drivers to Boris bike workers are getting extra payments for working extra hard during the Games. Thousands of transport workers have already secured extra money to keep London moving during the Games. London Underground workers get an extra £850, overground staff up to £650, Network Rail employees £500, Docklands Light Railway workers £900, and employees on the cycle hire scheme get an extra £500.
So now, of course, the bus drivers are thinking, well, everybody else is getting their share of the Olympic pie. Why shouldn't we have our slice as well? And the TfL call centre workers are thinking the same thing. The problem is there are so many groups of workers who will be under additional stress during the Olympics that you have to draw a line somewhere. What about bonuses for British Transport Police, or for hauliers, or for postmen, or for TV reporters? Do you feel you might have opened up a bit of a Pandora's box and everybody wants one?
The important thing is that everybody who works genuinely extra time, extra hard during the Games is properly compensated. And that's fair enough. All Olympic cities have done that in the last 20 years.
Last week's bus strikes were just the beginning. The mayor has put more than £8 million into the bonus pot, but the Unite Union's negotiations last week with the bus companies came to nothing.
We went there to negotiate. We came up with an offer of up to £500. They came with a demand which they didn't budge from all day.
The problem seems to be that the bus drivers are demanding £500 after tax. So in fact what they actually want is more than £600 before tax. Wildcat strikes broke out at some bus depots this morning, and there are further official strikes planned for the 5th of July and the 24th of July, just 3 days before the Olympic opening ceremony.
Will you, as the mayor, do everything in your power to make sure there are no strikes during the Olympics?
What we're doing is we've made sure that there's cash available. I've made it clear to the bus companies and to Unite that they've got to get their act together, and they've got a pretty short time to do it now, but I hope they will.
I hope they will. Not the most reassuring answer. It seems Monday's meeting between the union and the bus companies could determine whether or not we're in for a gridlocked Games. Glenn Goodman, London Tonight.
I'm joined now by Steve Turner, Director of Policy for the Unite Union. Thank you very much for coming in. As we've heard several times before, the mayor has put the money on the table, £8 million. Why aren't you taking that cash and just getting the members the bonus?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that as a proud Londoner myself and representing 21,000 London bus workers who are equally proud of our city, the last thing we want to see is disruption during the course of these Olympics.
So take the money.
We want the millions of visitors attending the Olympic Games and coming into London during August to enjoy our city and enjoy the Games. The real problem here is that the mayor for 10 months, alongside Transport for London and the 20 operating companies, have failed to engage with this union. Why is it? Why is it that a day's strike is necessary to force the operators and force the mayor to make comment on a dispute that he's known was coming for 10 months?
It's forced the mayor to put £8 million on the table to give your members some semblance of extra pay to work, to go to work during the Olympics. Why aren't you just offering that money? Have you offered that money to your members?
Well, the £8.3 million that the mayor's put on the table is actually money from the ODA. It's not money from the operating companies, and it's not money from Transport for London.
It's cash that will pay your money extra to members' money to work the Olympics. Have you offered
cash.
Your members that £8.3 million?
Our representatives have rejected the £8.3 million that's currently on the table. We accept that £8.3 million is a good start. It's money that the Mayor's found from the ODA. I wish he'd have found it 10 months ago, but he's found it 24 hours before the dispute.
Do your bus drivers really care where the money comes from? If they can walk away with a bonus, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Our bus drivers, London buses are the blood that runs through the veins of our city. We keep our city moving with 6 million passengers a day, and we'll do that with an additional 1 million passengers every day during the Olympics, including the diversions and the additional routes and everything else. Our claim is reasonable. What is not reasonable is the Mayor to come off his chair at the 11th hour, instead of getting on one of his bikes and coming to ACAS on Monday, trying to resolve this, which is what he should be doing along with TfL, he makes comments from the sidelines which are really, really unhelpful. We're trying to negotiate a settlement for 21,000 workers.
Yep.
And it's very difficult circumstances. Money's on the table, but it's not enough.
Are you regretting the way that you've played this? Because at the moment, your members have lost 1 day's pay. They're facing losing 2 days' pay. Transport colleagues working for other companies in London are getting their Olympic bonus. Your members are losing 3 days' pay so far.
Well, and that's exactly the point. Every other group of transport workers in London, including those working on Boris's own bike scheme just this week, have been awarded £500. Why haven't London bus workers been treated with the same dignity and respect as every other group of transport workers in London? The reality is £500 is our claim. It's a reasonable claim. What's not reasonable is the London bus companies to put an offer on the table that if we were to achieve the £500 they talk about, would make our operating illegal. Illegal. They want our members to work 29 shifts from 29 to achieve £500. That's illegal apart from dangerous. I don't think you'll find a Londoner that wants a bus driver driving through congested city streets full of passengers working 29 days on a trot.
Just to clarify for Londoners who will try and struggle to get to work on the days of July the 5th and the 24th, the £8.3 million is not enough, you're saying, for your members. What does it equate to per driver? Because at the moment, as I've said, they're losing money. Well, they would get some if they took that money.
It equates after tax to about £250. Now, that's about half of our claim. Our members won't be losing any money. We've been very clear throughout this dispute. If the companies, TfL and the Mayor, force us to take industrial action, our claim will escalate. Our members have been forced into taking action, and now our claim's value has increased by the cost of a day's pay. And it will continue to increase by the cost of a day's pay for every day they force us into an unnecessary and unjustified dispute at their cost.
OK, Steve Turner, we're going to have to leave it there, but just to clarify, talks Monday morning with ACAS, and you're hoping all 20 bus companies will join you for that?
Yeah, we're eager to meet the companies, and we wish Boris would get on his bike and join us.
Steve Turner from Unite, thank you.
Thanks.
Some news